y'all, this is Crystal Monds with Osatium. I'm going to be leading a 45-minute nurturing love practice. I am wearing a caramel brown bodysuit that is sleeveless with flowy white pants cinched at the waist, cinched at the ankles, with splits up the sides. My kinky curly hair is pulled all to one side and falls just beyond my shoulder. Today we're on a sandy bank along the side of a slow-moving creek downstream from a small waterfall in the middle of the forest. And I am on a maroon and light turquoise and gray patterned mat under dappled sunlight. Today we are going to be nurturing the body a lot. This is a love practice, so we'll be focusing on the heart chakra and also the root chakra as we ground. And if there's anything that doesn't feel good to the body, always go back to the last pose that did feel good. If ever you need to come into child's pose, come down into that. And you can just move from there. Always listen to your body. Always listen to your limits. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to begin seated. You can come into Indian style or half lotus or full lotus, if that's your thing. Go ahead and close your eyes. Inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale deeply through the nose. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. Deep inhale. Slower exhale. Again, deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. We're going to slowly open the eyes. Bring the arms out to your sides. We're going to take them up. Bring the palms together overhead. We're lengthening the spine and the abdomen. As you exhale, bring the hands down into prayer over the heart. Again, we're going to take the arms up as you inhale, down as you exhale. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Next, we're going to inhale the arms straight up. Keep them stretched up, palms apart. As we exhale, lower the right hand down to your right side. Reach over to that side. So we're just opening up the left side of the body. If you can, go ahead and drop down to that right elbow. Go ahead. But we want to make sure the chest is still open. The shoulders are stacked, left over right. Again, inhale it straight up. Exhale, drop the left hand down. Reach over to your left. Opening up the right side of the body. Again, inhale straight up, both arms up. Lengthen the abdomen, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold straight forward. Wherever the hands fall, that's fine. Now we're going to slowly walk the hands back towards the body and roll it up. We're going to inhale as you lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them back. Go ahead and take the left arm overhead. And using the right hand, we're going to press on the elbow. Just press that arm back behind you. Opening up that left shoulder. Release to center, switch sides. Pulling the right arm back behind you. Pressing on that elbow with the left hand. Again, release. Exhale the arms down. We're going to switch the legs. Whichever leg was in front, bring it behind. Now we're going to clasp the hands together behind the back. Press the shoulder blades together. We're just going to lift the chest. If you can, press the fist into the mat behind you. Send the chest upwards, expanding the rib cage. Chin up, head back. On your next exhale, slowly fold forward. Pull the arms away from the body. Keep the hands clasped together. And if the forehead reaches the mat or the floor or the earth in front of you, go ahead and lower it down. Slowly release the hands. We're going to roll back up. Bring the right hand onto the head. We're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Stretching the left side of the neck. Back to center. I'll bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Stretching the right side of the neck this time. Again, release. We're going to go ahead and push forward into tabletop. Here we're just going to begin a few cat-cows, inhaling as we arch the spine, exhaling as you curve the spine. Again, inhale, arch, exhale and curve. Inhale as you arch, exhale as you curve. Next, we're going to do some circular cat-cow. So we're inhaling to the right. With the hips and the head, we're going to lift the chin, lift the hips, arch, slowly circle it over to the left. And we're going to curve the spine, dropping the head, dropping the hips. Back to center. Again, inhale to the right as we arch. We want to move very slowly here, or you can get dizzy. Exhale as you curve to the left. Inhale, arch to the right. Exhale, curve to the left. Bring it back to center. Hold here with the back in a curve. Pressing the shoulders down into the palms down into your mat. Now we're going to start to inhale toward your left. Arch the spine. Curve, exhale to your right. Circle it around again. Inhale as you arch to the left. Circle it around to your right. Exhale. Inhale to the left as you arch. Exhale, circle it to the right as you curve. Hold that curve. Press the shoulders down. From the middle of the spine up. And slowly return the spine to neutral. Now we're going to curl the toes under, send the hips up and back into down dog. Start to pedal the feet here. Pressing the heels one at a time into your mat. I'll slowly start to walk the feet towards the hands. And exhale into the legs, into your forward fold. We're going to slightly bend the knees here. Start to stretch the arms up. As the arms come up, we're going to straighten the knees, lengthen the body, reach the arms back. Again, sending the chest up. Rib cage up. Hips press forward. And we're doing a slight back bend here, but we're bending from the upper spine, not from the lower. Bring the hands together into prayer. We're just going to hold here a few breaths. Make sure we're dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. Make sure the feet are grounded here. We want to really feel the weight of the body pressed into the soles of the feet. Next, we're going to move into our sun salutations. And we're just going to move at your own pace. So I'm going to call out everything. If you're moving at my pace, that's great. If not, just really pay attention to where we are so you know what's coming next for you. Always inhale the arms up as we lengthen and reach back. If you need to take a few breaths, that's fine. Always exhale as you fold forward into your forward folds. We're going to lead with the right leg first, kicking that right leg back. I'm going to show the modified versions first. If you are doing the modified version, you're going to come up onto that left knee, lift the chest, rest on the right knee. Then lower the hands down. Next is plank. Your half plank, we want to lower the hips so that the body's at a steady incline. Next is 8-point pose or chaturanga. So we have the hips lifted, and we only have the feet, the chest, and the chin in contact with your mat. Next, we're going to lift the chest up into cobra or up dog. Sphinx is your modification here. In Sphinx, we have the forearms, palms, and the elbows pressed into your mat. Chest lifted and forward, chin high. Next is down dog. Your modification for down dog is a variation of a puppy pose. So we're just focusing on lengthening the shoulders, sending the hips back. We're going to come back onto the palms, into tabletop. Quickly kick that right leg back, then forward, come up onto that knee. Again, lift the chest. Using the hands on that right knee, we're going to curl the back toe under. Support us with the hands. Kick the left foot forward. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, slightly bend the knees, lift up and back. Remember, those were all our modified poses. I'll do the full versions this time. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg back this time. Next is plank. Then 8-point pose, dropping the knees, chest, and chin. or chaturanga, which is your half push-up with the elbows in. Next is cobra or up dog. Up dog, the feet are pointed, the knees are lifted, but the hips are still as low as you can get them. Next is down dog. I'll raise the left leg back, then kick it forward. Then forward fold. Inhale up and back. Remember, you can always use any pose, the modified versions. You can mix them up, the full versions, or anything mid-range. Exhale, forward fold. We're leading with the right leg this time. You're going to see I'm going to mix them up. Just always listen to your body. Do what pose works best for you. Next is plank. Then 8-point or chaturanga. Cobra or up dog is next. Then down dog. Right leg back, then forward. Then forward fold. Inhale up and back with the arms. This is your last one. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg back this time. Then plank. 8-point or chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Then down dog. Left leg back and forward. Then forward fold. Slightly bend the knees and the arms up and down. Hold here a few breaths. Lengthening the spine. Opening the heart. Now we're going to bring the arms out to your side. Swan dive down as you exhale. And we're just going to slow it down a little bit. Grab the elbows here. We're just going to hang out. Rock from side to side. Go ahead and release the hands. We're going to bring the left hand in front of the right foot, send the right arm up. And exhale that right hand down in front of the left foot, send the left arm up. Doing a slight twist here, opening the chest. Exhale that left hand down. Inhale into a flat back, palms on the shins. And exhale it down again. Again, left hand in front of the right foot. Right arm up as you inhale. Open that up as much as you can. Start to deepen that twist, pulling the right shoulder back. Exhale it down in front of the left foot, left arm up. Again, pull that left shoulder back, just opening the shoulders and the chest. And exhale it down again. We're going to press the weight into the toes. Curve the spine. Very slowly roll it up. And roll the shoulders back. then forward. Nice. We're just going to shake everything out, just loosen up the body. So we're doing little hip circles here. That feels good for you. If not, you can just continue to shake it out. If you're doing hip circles, go ahead and switch directions. Now we're going to shift the weight into the left foot. We're going to lift and spread the toes and lower them down one at a time. This covers a bigger surface area to help keep your balance. Raise the right foot onto the left leg. You can keep the toe grounded if you need to. We're going to slowly raise that leg up higher as you make space. And just hold it here. If you need to hold on to a wall here, go ahead and hold on with that left hand. Now we're going to bring the hands together into prayer. Focus your gaze over one stationary point, somewhere off screen. Take the arms overhead when you're ready. And we're just going to lengthen as much as you can here. Make sure to keep that right knee pulled out to the side to keep the hips open. And slowly release the hands down. Release that right leg. Shift the weight into that foot again, grounding the toes. And raising the left leg into tree as high as you're comfortable with. And remember to keep that knee out to the side. Again, if you walk to a wall, go ahead and use the right hand on the wall for support. When you're ready, bring the hands together into prayer. Focus your gaze and take the arms overhead. Slowly release the hands and release that leg. Again, shake it out. We're going to come back up towards the front of your mat. Inhale the arms straight up. Exhale, swan dive down. We're going to kick the right leg back into a lunge here. We want to bring both hands to the inside of the foot. If you need to drop that right knee, go ahead. And we're just going to lower the hips as much as you can towards your mat. Here we want to always make sure the knee is directly in line with the ankle. So if you feel like you're overextending the knee and it goes past the toes, just press the body back or walk that front foot forward. We want to be gentle on that knee. We're really focusing on lowering the right hip down towards your mat. Stay focused on your breathing here. I'll go ahead and curl the back toe under. We're going to lift that knee. Go ahead and flatten the right foot. I'm going to show the modified version here first. But if you can go ahead and just take the right arm up, do that. If you can't, we're going to come onto the left knee with the left elbow. And then just send the right arm up here. Again, if you were coming straight to it with that left hand grounded, we're just tracing the arm across the chest and sending that right arm up. Do whatever pose works for you. Again, you want to always listen to your body day by day. There might be some days you can go deeper into the pose, and that's fine. But listen to where you are today. Now we're going to slowly come up into Warrior Two. In Warrior Two, both the hips and chest are facing towards the center. And then the gaze is focused over that bent knee, which should be all our lefts right now. Keep the shoulders down and back. And slowly lower that elbow back down, or that left hand back down. And then we're going to drop the right hand. Kick the right foot forward. Exhale into a forward fold. Rock it out. Next, we're going to kick the left leg back. Into a lunge. Again, make sure you're keeping that front knee behind the toes. Now we're going to flatten that back foot, send the left arm up. Stacking the shoulders, opening the chest, left shoulder back. Remember your modification here. Bringing the elbow up onto the knee. Now we're going to slowly stabilizing the hips, bring it up. Again into your Warrior Two. Hips and chest facing center. Gaze focused over your right. And slowly lower the right hand back down. Lower the left. And we're going to kick it back into a plank or a half plank here. Push back into down dog. And we're just going to start to separate the feet, walking them out towards the edge of your mat. So we're still in a wide-legged down dog here. You can sway the hips if you need to, just to give them a little space. Open them up a little bit. Now we're going to slowly walk the hands back towards the feet so that we're standing on the feet. You shouldn't need the hands for balance anymore. As soon as you're ready, we're going to start to bend the knees. We're going to come into as deep a squat as you can. If you need to stop, rest the hands on the knees. Do that. Stop where you are. If you can come all the way down, try to keep the heels grounded. If that's not going to work for you today, it's okay to slightly lift the heels. And if you can come all the way down, go ahead and bring the hands together into prayer. Use the elbows to press the knees out. And then once you're here, we're just going to lift the chest, lengthen the spine, and breathe into this. This is one of our most grounding poses. It's really opening up the root chakra here, getting the hips open and close to the ground. It's also a lot of work, so take breaks if you need to. Go ahead and lower the hands down. Send the hips back up and fold it in. You're going to feel the stretch in the back of the hamstrings here. Just breathe into that. Lower the hands back down. We're going to walk back out into a down dog. Walk the feet in a little bit, just so they're level with the hips. And very slowly lower the knees down to your mat. Take your time. Once the knees reach your mat, go ahead and sit back onto the feet. And we're just going to breathe here. The modification here, if you can't sit on the feet today, you can sit on a pillow or a block, or you can just go ahead and lift up all the way onto the knees. Wherever you are, keep the feet flat, because we are working on the feet here. We're just going to take a few breaths, keep the shoulders dropped and relaxed, easeful. Next, we're going to curl the toes under, and again, sit back on the feet. Lifting the chest, shoulders dropped and relaxed. Again, if you are all the way up on the knees, we're focusing on the toes now. So we're just curling the toes under, leaning back into it a little bit till you feel that weight. And breathe here. Again, point the toes, sit back onto the feet. We're going to go ahead and clasp the hands together behind the back. Press the shoulder blades together and slowly fold forward, lowering the belly onto the thighs, lowering the chest onto the knees, while bringing it closer. Starting to lower the head closer to your mat as you pull the arms away from the body. And just breathe here. Again, we want to really focus on the depth of our breath, breathing into the belly, exhaling through the nose. Now very slowly roll it up. And we're going to release the legs out in front of you, one at a time. Go ahead and push up towards the front of your mat. Here we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and just flap the legs in butterflies. Now we're going to push the feet out to at least 2 hands lengths away from the body. Bring the hands underneath the ankles. Inhale and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, start to fold in. And if you can, start to walk the hands forward. We're going to stay here for a little while, so don't feel rushed to deepen this. Your breath will deepen it for you. Every few exhales, we're going to lower down a little more, starting to bring the elbows closer to your mat and the face closer to your feet. And remember here, unless it's noted, all of our forward folds, we want to try to fold in with the spine lengthened and the chest open. So we're bending in from the hip, hinging at the hip. We're not folding from the spine. So keep the shoulders relaxed and try to fold in from the hip. When you're ready, slowly lift the knees, release the hands. We're going to bring the knees together and pull them into the body. We're just going to hug the knees into the chest as tight as you can. And here we're just releasing any remaining tensions from the body. You can rock if you need to. You can rotate the shoulders, or the feet, or the hands. And we're going to slowly release the legs. Walk the feet out in front of you just a bit. And we're going to lower down onto the forearms behind you. And just breathe in a reclining pose here. So here we have the elbows directly under the shoulders. Or as close as you can get them. Hips are grounded. We're going to send the chest and rib cage up, arching the spine, opening the throat, and drop the head back. Now we're just going to breathe here, keeping the chest open. If you're comfortable and want to take this further today, go ahead and drop the very top of the head onto your mat, dropping the crown only. We're still keeping the chest lifted. So the only things touching your mat now are the head, the very top of it, the hips, and the feet. And if you want to rest the hands down to your sides, keeping the chest open here. Straighten the legs if you feel like that's good for you today. And just breathe here. Now using the hands down to your sides, we're going to press the elbows into your mat. Release the head, And go ahead and lie flat on your mat. We're going to stretch the arms overhead. Stretch the fingers out and away from one another. And stretch the toes out and away. Press all the air out of the lungs, pulling the navel back towards the spine. Press everything out and away from your center. And we're just expanding here, taking up as much space as possible with the limbs. Expanding the rib cage every inhale. On your next exhale, bring the arms out to your sides, bring them around. Hug the knees into the body. And just begin to rock from side to side, massaging the spine into your mat. Now we're going to circle the knees to one side, keep them together. This is going to start to massage the lower spine into your mat. I'll switch directions. Again, hug them in as close as you can. And keeping the knees as close to the chest as you can, start to straighten the legs. If the knees stay bent a little bit, that's fine. If they stay close to the chest and you begin to straighten more of the hips, they're going to naturally begin to lift off your mat. And just go with that. If the hips are lifted, slowly lower them back down. Stretch the legs straight up. Then flex the toes towards the body, pressing out through the heels. As you exhale, slowly lower the legs down, keeping the knees straight and toes flexed, controlling your pace. Once the feet reach your mat, go ahead and relax the legs. Relax the arms down to your sides, palms up. Close your eyes. Slowly wiggle the fingers. And relax the fingers. Wiggle the toes. And relax the toes. Relax the feet and the ankles. Relax the calves and the knees. Relax the thighs and the glutes. Relax the pelvis and the abdomen. Release any tension from the spine, starting from the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. Open up the chest and allow the shoulders to sink into your mat, expanding the rib cage here. Relax the upper arms and the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, and the hands. Release any tension from the neck and the jaw. Relax the cheeks and the eyebrows and the rest of the face. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Allowing the belly to rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Continue to focus on your breath. Now very gently wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, rotate the hands in both directions, rotate the feet in both directions, turn the head to the left, then to the right. Now raise your right arm and rest it on the mat above you. Bring the left hand onto the belly. You can bend that left knee and roll over onto your right side. We're just going to relax here in the fetal position for a few breaths. Giving your body time to process all the movements that we've done in today's practice. Allowing the blood to flow away from the heart. When you're ready, keeping the eyes closed, we're going to slowly roll it up into a comfortable seated position. Focus again here on your breathing. On your next inhale, we're going to open the arms wide. Open the chest. Send the chin up. Exhale, bring the right arm over left. We're going to hug the opposite shoulders. And tuck the chin into the chest. Just giving ourselves a big hug. Again, on your next inhale, open wide. Sending the chest up, opening the heart, chin up. Exhale, left arm over right, hug the opposite shoulders in. And again, we're going to open wide, open heart. As you exhale, bring the chin to neutral. Bring the hands onto the knees and just relax here a few breaths. Shoulders down and back. And just focus on your breathing. Now let's bring the hands and rub them together to generate heat. And cup them over the eyes. Slowly blink the eyes open. Then bring the hands down into prayer over the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in this grounding heart practice. Again, this is Crystal Monds with Osatium, and I'm so happy that you could join me today in our BlackSanctuary. I hope you got what you needed today and that you continue to move through your day feeling nurtured and feeling grounded, and keep taking care of yourself. Thank you so much. Peace, y'all.